This is Next Radio.
With Broadcast Bionics, innovative solutions for creative people.
Wow. Hello, everyone. Yay. Hello, I'm Simon Hirst. I'm a retired broadcaster. Temporarily retired. What a wonderful day this has been. And to talk about creativity in this building as well is an amazing thing. So, creativity then in radio. Well, let's start with the definition of being creative. The adjective is relating to or involving the use of imagination or original ideas to create something. And the noun, of course, a person whose job involves creative work. And I think all of us in this room, you know, the bottom one does it. Well, they both apply to us, of course, don't they? When I was on the air and when I returned to broadcasting, I always see every show like a field of unpicked flowers. I just do. It's the way I see it. And by the end of the show, I just want to have picked every single flower available and had a go at stuff, because I just see the whole way of presenting a radio show as a creative experience from start to finish. But who inspires us to be creative? Who is that person? Well, I'd like to start with Kenny Everett. For me, Kenny Everett is my radio idol. I never got to hear Kenny broadcast. He was on Radio 1 in the 60s and pirate ships before that, of course, but predominantly broadcast on Capital here in London. And I'm from Barnsley, I'm from the north. I only got to hear tapes of him later on. I had a programme director at the Pulse in Bradford called Steve Martin, not the actor. Steve, very lovely chap, spoke like that. And for those that know him, sorry. He used to feed me tapes of Kenny Everett when I was doing an evening show. And from that moment, this field of unpicked flowers just appeared in my mind. And I was like, right, this is, I need to do more on radio apart from just play the hits. So, Kenny Everett. Who was the man that inspired Kenny Everett? Well, it was a man called Jack Jackson. He was the guy that inspired this man here, Kenny Everett. Jack Jackson was given the title the daddy of all DJs. Now, I should have some audio with this bit here.
I think it was the big influence.
Ah, there we are. Right. So, that should have been slick. But like my radio shows, it's not. Good morning, 8:26. So who inspired Kenny Everett?
Jack Jackson, I think, was the big influence, because he used to actually get hold of an hour and do a lot of work in it. And it just sounded wonderful. I don't know why. It just sounded really good and fun and jolly. And all the rest of the guys on the light program were just going, well, that was Robert Ditch singing Melodies Are Made of Thing by the Northern Dance Orchestra. It's 8:10. 10 minutes past 8. That was it. But along came this raving thing called Jack Jackson, and he set the pace for me.
So, for those who are not aware of Kenny Everett, and from those people who are not from the UK, Kenny really did break the mould when it came to creative radio. But this guy, Jack Jackson, well, he was given the title the daddy of all DJs, and this is why he inspired Kenny Everett.
Oh, it's Saturday. Yes, it's Saturday. And hello there, record fans, wherever you are. Once again, it's time for another roundup of all your favorite British and American recording artists, brought to you by the Decca Record Company for your special delight tonight. Oh, excuse me, madam.
Yes?
I work for Luxembourg, you see.
Oh, I am sorry. I'm afraid I can't help you.
No. I was hoping you'd play chaperone to this young fellow. He's off.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't mind where I go. Like, I just go, man, go and all that. And see, it's like this, man.
Stop calling me man.
Sorry, madam.
So on and so forth. So, Jack Jackson originally was a BBC band leader before becoming an announcer. And he was given his own show called Record Roundup, where his methods of presentation included punctuating records with surreal comedy clips using quick cutting of pre-recorded tapes produced in his home studio in Tenerife, says Wikipedia. So there's Jack Jackson in his home studio. So without Jack, there'd be no Kenny. There's Kenny. in his home studio. And here's Kenny explaining how he creates jingles, because he was a choir boy and he was dead good at harmonizing and stuff like that. And also there's an interesting way of introducing the Jackson 5, and I want you back in this clip. Have a listen.
Where would you like to start? On the left? Right, this is a tape machine. It's a sort of a heavy-duty thing that lasts forever. It's called a Studio, made in Switzerland, and there's another one beside it. And we just toss sound from backwards and forwards from one to the other and do harmonies. I mean, you could sound like a chorus or an orchestra, because I used to be a choir boy, you know. So I know which notes to hit. And with having two tape machines, you can bung your voice on one, then play that into the other one whilst adding another voice, and you can get jingles like this. Dear God in heaven, please let this show go okay, with no major boobs or goofs, or is it goofs? Please don't let me tread all over the intros of records, or say a naughty word.
And now on Radio Luxembourg, otherwise known as Radio Luxembourg, it's time for that show again. Ding dong, Marilyn High, and all that kind of stuff. It's Christmas Day, so why I'm singing fairly rough, 'cause I've had 11 martinis, 6 vodka tonics, 8 gin and lemon, 2 scotch and sodas. Oh, yes, friends, it's Christmas Day, and it's my birthday too, so we're gonna have jolly fun, right? Right, well, let's away with the first disc of the day. Looking back upon the year of 1970, lots of groovy discs are staring back at me. But for one disc in particular comes easily to mind. I Want You Back by the Jackson 5.
And that's it. He's introed the song by singing, I just think it's brilliant. And that's 1970, so he really was breaking the mold. So without Kenny, there would be no Edmonds! Ah! I know! Shocking! Oh, God. And the list is endless who Kenny did inspire. But Noel Edmonds, he was presented with Kenny's Saturday show on Radio 1 after Kenny was sacked after being on his final warning. First, Noel was fairly hesitant about taking on this. How could he replace his hero? But he did, and he went on to present the breakfast show on Radio 1 for 5 years. And in those years, he created the wind-up phone call. Well, in the UK, he's cited as creating the wind-up phone call. And Edmonds really was massive in the 70s. It's kind of unimaginable to realise how big a star he was. His Radio 1 show, the breakfast show, the morning show, attracted 15 million listeners daily, along with the kids' show Swap Shop on a Saturday morning. He was everywhere, and he was pushing the boundaries with wind-up phone calls.
This is my very favourite telephone call. When I started to make it, I was not very optimistic about my chances of pulling it off, particularly because it was in 3 parts. Mrs. Wendy Tuck has a problem with her phone. She keeps hearing dialer disc in the background. So she's very grateful when the engineer phones up.
Morning. Can I speak to Mrs. Wendy Tuck, please?
Oh, excuse me. Speaking.
Morning. It's Post Office Engineers here. I understand you've been having problems with your phone and the dialer disc. You're getting music.
Oh, God blimey. Hang on. I'm not awake yet.
Oh, sorry.
What the dickens is the time?
Pardon?
20 to 10. I've overslept. Sorry, what did you say?
You're having problems with your phone. You're getting music down your phone, I believe.
Well, no. Well, I haven't got it now. I've got men talking.
You got what? Sorry?
I tried to make a phone call Friday. Oh, God, when was it? Friday night.
Yeah.
And I got 2 men chatting away about football.
All right.
So I'm not getting the music quite so often.
Right, well, we're working on that part of the exchange this morning. That's
Malcolm, isn't it?
What?
That's Malcolm.
My name's Brian.
Oh, sorry. Oh, all right, sorry.
Can you avoid using the phone for about the next 20 minutes or so, because we'll be working on it?
Yeah, okay.
The point is, it mustn't be used, because we're working in the area that if it's used, someone will get an electric shock, right? So...
Pardon?
We've got to be very careful. We'll get an electric shock if you use your phone. So can you avoid using it for 20 minutes, and I think we'll probably be able to sort the problem. All right? I'll ring you back in about 25 minutes or so. But,
yeah, okay.
But don't use the phone, please.
Electric shock?
We get an electric shock if you pick the phone up. All right.
Oh, OK, then.
I'll ring you back when we cleared it.
Right, thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye.
OK, so I've told her that I'll be ringing her back in about 20-25 minutes. But obviously the idea is I ring her back within about 5 minutes. Now, will she pick up the phone? I just love that. The way she just threw the telephone down.
See, that still works. That's from 1978, and still to this day, all these years later, it's very funny. But what happens when the listener wants to give you feedback on your creativity?
Okay, Evan, go ahead.
Hey, Howard, how's it going?
Hey now, Evan.
Now, listen, when I initially got on the phone, I was more fired up than I am now. So I want to give a constructive criticism to the show.
Not necessary.
What's that?
Not necessary.
No, but it is. You need feedback from...
No, I don't. I don't need any feedback. I come in here and I do what I want. What do I need your feedback for?
Because that's how you figure out where...
No, I figure out what to do by me. I am in charge of me, and I'm in charge of the show. I don't need feedback. What do I need feedback for?
Well, I've always thought about it as like a community.
No. If I thought about this show as a community, I'd be doomed. Your feedback is irrelevant. Your feedback is irrelevant.
How dare you?
What? I'm telling you my process, Evan.
I know, but I figured that I could...
Your feedback is irrelevant. Yeah, whatever your feedback is irrelevant.
I'm a paying customer.
I don't care. Then quit. I don't care.
No, you can't do that. If everybody...
Evan, I can do it. I'm telling you your feedback is irrelevant. Through my entire career, I didn't ask people their opinion of my show. I don't care what you think. I care what I think.
Very hurtful.
The way I was an innovator was to ignore the feedback.
No, but none of the common man, of the higher
The common man? There's no such thing as a common man. Are you common, Evan?
No, well, I'm anything but.
All right. Well, when the common man calls, I'll listen to him.
The FCC obviously regulates radio slightly differently than we do in this country with Ofcom, and Howard has broken boundaries for many, many, many years. Before the likes of Jonathan Ross and Russell Brand ruined it for all of us, we did some fairly good boundary breaking in this country, but I think post-Saxgate, I think we've really tended to pull back on things, and I certainly, as a broadcaster in the modern age, felt that, I can't do that. So that seed was in my mind. I can't do that. I can't. So that I will have stopped being creative because that seed was in my mind. I'm not allowed to do that. I can't go that. I can't go there. So I did stop myself. But before all that, back in 1994, there was a guy called Chris Morris. Ladies and gentlemen, this is slightly disturbing, and this was broadcast on Radio 1.
Don't forget, Paul Garner in less than an hour will be invading a taxi. What he is he's dressed up as a kind of geekish Buddy Holly. We've also covered him in TCP for extra added nerdish effect. And Peter Bainham is next door checking out your average prices of price tags left on present.
Chris!
Peter, I'm talking. Don't come into the studio when I'm talking.
Chris!
If the red light's on...
Chris!
What?
Chris, there is a body in there.
What the hell are you talking about?
There is a body in Studio 3.
Oh, yeah.
Chris, I'm not bloody joking.
A body?
There's a body in Studio 3.
Who is it?
I think it's Johnny Walker.
Johnny Walker's dead in Studio 3. Do you know what that shows?
What?
That shows if you're a DJ that still plays vinyl, you shouldn't share needles. It just killed Johnny Walker.
Chris, I'm not bloody joking. There is Johnny Walker in there.
What do you think he died of? You think he took so many poppers his head fell out of his arse?
Chris, I don't care. Look at me.
Is that puke?
Yes, it's puke.
God, he's serious. Come on.
Yes,
Can you fade up Studio 3? Fade up Studio 3. Can you fade it up when we go through? Jeez. What's that? Hang on, turn that tape on.
Yeah.
Turn it off.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, okay. Get those flies away from his head. I'll see if I can identify. Now, I'm going to phone security. You sit on his head. I don't want him sitting up like some stiffs do.
Oh, God.
Did you hear that?
Oh, what a horrible noise.
Did you hear that when you dropped him in the chair? Some air came out of his lung and went through his throat. You were saying, right, that he should be allowed to say goodbye to his fans.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a shame, but he can't, can he, really? I mean...
Well, actually, he can.
What are you talking about?
Punch a couple of holes in the back of his neck.
What for?
We've got to do that for the corpse.
What do you mean do that? What's it
It's
for?
procedure. So
Really?
when you do that,
Yeah.
you can actually make him talk.
How?
All you need for him to talk, right, is air going across his vocal cords. Think about it.
Yeah, but he's dead. I mean...
Yeah. Punch the holes in the back of his neck.
What, with this?
Yeah. Go on. Just
Give
work it. Go on.
Give it here. So...
Oh, that's right. No. That's it.
Yeah.
Just push it through.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Now, all you have to do is blow through the neck.
No!
And I'll move the mouth.
What?
Blow through the neck and I'll move the mouth.
This is disgusting.
Just do it, Peter. You wanted to say goodbye. It's your idea. Now do it.
Do you think this
Just
is right?
do it.
This is the best thing?
It is the right thing to do. I'm telling you.
Okay. So
I'll move the mouth. Hang on.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Now do that again. Just give a bit more breath. Brilliant!
That was amazing. You said goodbye.
Yay!
Can we do it again?
Yeah. Go on, blow again. Nice
That is
one!
absolutely fantastic.
Hey, look.
God.
Put that in his mouth.
Okay.
Too far? Could you hear that on the radio today? Probably not. There used to be a couple of guys, Mark Radcliffe now on Six Music and Mark Riley, of course. Together they were Mark and Lard. And I was once driving up the M62 and nearly crashed my car because I couldn't see for laughing when I heard this. These two, brilliant.
Yeah. Obviously, one of the things we've enjoyed over the years is well, sharing the riches of your Walbum archive.
Hi, that's right, yes.
You keep all your albums, right? Yeah,
22 million now.
22 million albums you've got.
Yeah.
Albums, sorry, right.
It's all right.
And the great thing is, I don't know if you've heard of any of Lard's vinyl collection. Fran, have you heard any? No, don't you? No. Because, I mean, it's a fantastic collection, right? Fantastic collection. And the beautiful thing about them is you can hear the grooves as we play them on air. You know, you don't get that on CD at the minute, do you?
Crackle. CDs are rubbish, aren't they?
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Right, he keeps them all in mint condition, so it's hard to tell, isn't it? So, what have you brought in for us today, then?
Well, he's a mate of ours, isn't it?
Who is it?
Macca.
Oh, right. Paul McCartney.
Paul McCartney.
Sends us a big bunch of flowers.
Yeah, bless him,
Still got the card there.
I mean, this in some ways is a tribute to him, because, I mean, obviously a lot of people have got his, like, Walbums.
Yeah.
They don't look after him like I do.
Right, okay, so...
Do you know what I mean?
Okay, right, so here we go. For the last time, one of Lard's classic cuts. This is Paul McCartney. What song is it?
Mull of Kintyre.
Okay, lovely, right.
Mull of Kintyre, only strolling in from the Kinsey. My desire is always to be on Mull of Kintyre. Far have I traveled, and much have I seen.
And it goes on. Brilliant. I missed them terribly. So, I'm going to play you a clip that I heard on Radio 1 last week, actually. Matt Edmondson was covering for Scott Mills. And this proves that the wind-up phone call is still alive in 2014. And is this because we've not pushed the boundaries enough? Have we reverted back? Now, it's always good to go back to old ideas. Yes, they can be changed. But we're just back to old-fashioned wind-up phone calls, it appears.
So over the weekend, I found out about a thing you can get on your phone where you can make a call from your phone, but when you ring the other person, it comes up as someone else, as long as you share the same contact. So I've been trying this out with some Radio 1 DJs. Yesterday, Scott Mills received a call from Fern Cotton. Today, I've clipped up Mr. Greg James.
This is Greg James.
Yes. I really enjoy doing that as well. It's nice. It's a nice way to listen to someone's show where you're going through and saying, oh, he said something weird there.
Sing.
I will, Greg, I will. So, let's give someone a call. Now, you have to think about who's going to answer it and who's going to have a conversation, right? And I know that Greg and Hugh are really good mates. They're doing Reading and Leeds this weekend. So, let me go into make the call, calling. So Hugh Stevens, bear with me. Hugh Stevens. And caller ID, Greg James. Let's find him there. Not Greg Rutherford. Greg James. There we go. All right, let's see how this goes.
Gregory?
Hey, Lee! Good afternoon, sir. Wagwan.
How are you, mate?
Very cool. What has been going on since we last spoke?
Well, you know, been busy. What about you?
So what's going on? What are the plans for this weekend?
Well, it's Reading, innit? I see you at Reading Festival, hopefully.
So excited for Reading and Leeds next weekend. Let's. Whee!
Yeah. It should be lads. Get on the beer shed and all that. I see you there, it's not before.
You like shoe boating?
Do I like shoe boating?
Shoe boating? Drinking out of a shoe.
Shoe boating? Not really.
Don't you worry, it's going to be all good.
Cool, all right. Well, I'll see you at Reading then, mate.
Yes. Have you kept a few things secret?
Catch a what? A few things secret?
You were in a toilet with a famous band. Who were that band?
I don't know.
Were you in the wrong toilet?
Okay. All right, well, listen.
Oh, by the way, you love Ben Shepherd? Is this true?
I don't know what you're on about, mate.
I've just Googled him. He's a good-looking guy.
Greg, are you okay?
Yes. Talk to me about handbags.
All right, see you later.
Whatever. Good riddance.
Oh, God.
Teary face emoji.
Which I thought was brilliant. Great bit of radio, but it wasn't Muller entire, wasn't it? Self-edited myself then, or drilling a hole, or putting a hole in back of Johnny Walker's head. But it just shows that still today there is huge creativity here in UK radio. Finally, I know I'm slightly pushed for time. I want to just be narcissistic for a second and talk about my previous show, Hirst, which I did for 11 years on Capital. And I want to talk about creative trust between presenter and producer. And if you are a presenter, you'll know that it's sometimes in your domain hard to trust others because you think, I know what I'm doing. I'm doing it myself. But my former producer, the guy that's holding the word knob behind me, is Scott Myers. And me and Scott, we've worked together for years. And he knows me and I know him. And this link is not particularly creative, but it just shows how trust can really come together. So the setup to this was I'd got about 10 seconds left or 15 seconds on the record that was playing. Scott runs into the studio with a piece of paper. The piece of paper had a text. Under a few words on that text they were underlined, certain words, and each word corresponded one of the hotkeys on my playout system. He went, right, each word's right connected to a hotkey there, 1 to 5. I went, song's ending, go on. He says, right, just press them on each word. I went, oh, all right then. So the song's ended, mic open, and this.
Bruno Mars and Locked Out of Heaven. It's 8:14. This is Capital. It's Thursday today, 14th of March. Kirsty, my fiancée, treats me like a princess every single day. So because we don't have any children and we weren't seeing our own mothers over the weekend, I decided Mother's Day would be the Happy Adams Day in our household. He woke to the smell of freshly brewed coffee and bacon. And then we spent the day doing some of his favourite things. So we went for a pub lunch, watched the football. Whilst he had a few pints and played a few games of pool. Yeah. Anyway, I then took him shopping.
Cashier number 1, please.
And then we relaxed at home in the evening with a good film and, of course, a bit of the other.
Oh,
which I can't find a sound effect for. I could play Jetem or something like that. But I thought that just might be overdoing it with my little comedy toolbox that I've got. Anyway, we had a right lovely day, and it's not hard to spoil the other half once in a while. See?
Yep.
Exactly. So put a bit of effort in. Right, it's 8:15. He said, she said next, and Justin Timberlake to play too.
Not a funny link. It's not, but just got brought to life by trust. There's some producers I would have just gone, no, I'll do it in a minute, and then had to listen to them all. But because that trust was there, creative, and this happened on numerous occasions. I wish I'd saved some better stuff. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed a little troll through the archives of Creative Wireless. And I'm Simon Hirst. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Simon.
This is Next Radio.
Was broadcast by Onyx. Innovative solutions for creative people.